covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news: a partial ceiling collapse forces a popular grocery store to shut its doors today. We have a live look at the repairs happening now. Plus, new at 6, are landlords refusing renters who use housing vouchers. We show you the undercover investigation sparking discrimination claims. But first, our breaking news coverage of the shoe fire continues as that wildfire explodes northeast of Shasta Lake. Now, this fire started just northeast of the lake near Fender's Ferry Road there in Shasta County. And we do know there is one zone under an evacuation order.
Well, Action News Now reporter Jesse Angelo is live at the Air Attack Base. Very busy right now in Redding. Jesse, what have you learned in the last few minutes?
Alan, what I've found out is that a unofficial nonprofit reporting site is saying that Fender's Ferry Road between the McLeod Bridge and Highway 299 is being closed due to firefighting operations. And you're right, Alan. The air attack base here, I'm hearing all kinds of aircraft and helicopters right now trying to get as much of that air attack in as they can before the sun sets, with the fire now pushing 300 acres and evacuations in place. They're really attacking it hard to make sure that it does not grow overnight, taking advantage of cooler temperatures overnight to try to get this fire under control in the evening hours, and because that terrain is very unforgiving and very remote. So they do have wildland firefighters on scene and 4 nighttime helicopters that will be attacking the fire overnight. Live in Redding, Jesse Angelo, Action News Now.
All right, thanks, Howie.
Now we have a live look over that same area from an Alert California camera. You can see a huge plume of smoke over Shasta County this evening.
Chief Meteorologist Howie Gordon is here now tracking the conditions. So what's our fire risk like? Obviously, we've got a fire burning there, so that we are in danger, of course. Howie.
I mean, even if we had moisture levels were down to 0, and if the winds were down to 0, we're very, very dry, as we've seen nothing in the way of rain for months and months and months. But let's try to break it down a little more. So here's our temperatures. Okay, yeah, we're still hot, but we're a lot cooler than just yesterday, where we were still at 100 degrees in portions of the valley. So we're starting to cool, but again, we're very hot and we're very dry. We were a little windier yesterday, so winds for the most part have come down as we look closer to the fire area. Okay, winds at about 10 miles per hour, and we're really not gusting, so that's not too bad. But let's look at the humidity levels. The further you get up towards the north where the fire is, you see some of the lowest moisture levels, so that's not that good. But on a positive note, we are going to continue to cool. That means moisture levels will go up, but we're still looking at some rain. We have chances, but I don't think it's going to be enough to change things, but we are going to start cooling down.
We got to start somewhere. Thanks, Howie. And by the way, we've just learned that the shoe fire, the size has grown to 400 acres.
Well, we have more breaking news. Shoppers at the Safeway on East Avenue in Chico had a scare after part of the ceiling collapsed.
Yeah, Action News Now reporter Alejandro Mejia joins us now live from outside the store. So, Alejandro, how soon could we see this store open?
It is still unclear, Alan, but what I could tell you is that there's crews actively working inside of this Safeway with employees standing outside of both entrances, letting people know that this Safeway location is closed for the day. Safeway representative Wendy Gashal told me and sent me a statement saying that this store was forced to close late last night because a distressed rafter near the deli section. There's no word on what caused the damage. With the amount of work being done inside of the Safeway, the store had to shut its doors for the time being. We spoke to one customer who can't wait for the store to reopen its doors.
I came to pick up a couple of meds. There's other Safeways for people that need groceries or other supplies, so not a huge impact.
What if it doesn't open tomorrow? Is that something that might have a bigger impact?
No, I think what I would just need to do is probably give my physician a call and have them send it over to CVS or somewhere else.
For people wanting to pick up their prescriptions at this Safeway, they'll either have to have their doctors reroute their prescription to another pharmacy or go to the Safeway in Gridley if the prescription is ready for pickup. With crews working inside of this Safeway, Gershal told me they hope to have this Safeway location open as soon as possible, but it is still unclear when this Safeway will reopen. In Chico, I'm Alejandro Mejia for Action News Now.
Thank you, Alejandro. And Gashal says that employees were also unharmed when the ceiling collapsed. A Siskiyou County man is behind bars after deputies say he killed his mother last week. And deputies say they found Mary Kurtz dead in her yard. They say soon after, her son, Andre Lane, called 911 saying he accidentally shot her with a stolen rifle. Deputies say they eventually convinced Lane to exit the home, and he was arrested.
New at 6, the city of Anderson has a new police chief after former Chief John Piletsky retired in June. Meet Chief Oliver Collins. For the past 7 years, Chief Collins served as captain of the Emeryville Police Department. He has over 24 years in law enforcement experience and graduated from the FBI National Academy, along with a master's degree in criminal justice leadership and management. Now, we're learning more about why Red Bluff High's varsity football team forfeited its game against Pleasant Valley set for Friday. Red Bluff Joint Union High School District said in a statement that a number of players violated the athletic code of conduct. The district added that the forfeit was in the interest of remaining players' safety. Well, we reached out to the district to get more details about exactly how the students violated the code of conduct. Well, the district wouldn't say. But Pleasant Valley head football coach Mark Cooley says that it's due to some players partying last weekend. Now, this week is homecoming for PV, so students will celebrate without the big game taking place.
I'm really kind of, upset that it got canceled, but hopefully next year that it can happen.
PV confirmed that the freshman and JV homecoming games will still happen Friday. The freshman game starts at 5. JV's kickoff is at 7.
New at 6, a landmark building in Butte County, formerly known as Mother's Four Corners, has a second chance at life after sitting vacant for decades. Action News Now reporter Margot Rowe shows us who's moving in.
The building behind me was once known as Mother's Four Corners, but now it will be the new home of the Butte County Farm Bureau. Executive Director of the Bureau, Colleen Cecil, says the nonprofit was originally renting out a space in Richvale, but recently it was presented with an opportunity to move into the Four Corners building, which is southwest of Chico and north of Durham. The location features office and venue space.
While some people may say that this property is in the middle of nowhere for a business that operates Monday through Friday, we think it's the ideal location. It is in the heart of our productive agricultural grounds here in Butte County. We're surrounded by almond and walnut orchards. We're close to each point of the county, if you think about where rice is grown and where the cattle are grazing on some of our fields.
Cecil says the Bureau plans to host workshops and meetings in the venue space and have it available for the public to rent out. While the Bureau is technically open at its new location, Cecil says there's still a bit of work to be done, like furnishing the inside and as well as the new signage for the building. Reporting in Chico, I'm Margot Rowe for Action News Now.
We're told the final touches of the building should be finished in time for the open house and ribbon cutting, which is set for October 21st. You can tour the new space and learn more about the Farm Bureau. That's happening from 1 to 7 p.m. on that day.
Designs to expand and improve the 90-year-old Veterans Memorial Hall in Corning will be completed in just a couple of weeks. Tehama County says any work will focus on preserving the building's historic features. Workers will basically gut and replace all electrical equipment, make plumbing, kitchen, and ADA upgrades. Now, the total budget is $6.4 million. That comes from federal government money. And the county supervisors also set aside $2 million from the American Rescue Plan Act. Well, breaking news, we just learned Hurricane Milton made landfall along Florida's Gulf Coast as a Category 3 storm. Meteorologist Felicia Combs with our sister station, the Weather Channel, shows us how millions of people there along the coast are fleeing while they still can.
In recent memory for this area around Fort Myers, we have Helene that just happened, of course, a couple weeks ago, bringing feet of storm surge. And then also a couple years ago, we had Ian. Now, where I'm standing right here, this exact spot was covered in 5 feet of storm surge with Ian. That would be up to, at least my chin. We are off San Carlos Bay. You can see that off to the west here. And beyond San Carlos Bay, from around the Fort Myers area, is Sanibel Island, is Captiva as well. Those places under mandatory evacuation orders, as the forecast for storm surge around this region could get up to 12 feet. Storm surge is a huge concern, but also hurricane force winds are possible, and a tornado watch that is in place until 9 p.m. this evening. We've already seen multiple tornadoes across Florida with these rain bands. Felicia Combs in Fort Myers, the Weather Channel.
So scary, Howie. It's all happening right now. You've been tracking this storm. We know it just made landfall. Where do you expect it to go next?
I guess I don't want to say it's better than what happened with the last hurricane, because the last hurricane went through several states and caused major problems. I'm not trying to make light of this by any means. Let's get out there. But this hurricane is going to travel right through the peninsula state of Florida, then head out into the ocean. Again, I'm not trying to make light of this, but that's the path. It's hitting the coast now in the Sarasota, Tampa area, southwest of Tampa, but it's going to continue up potentially through Orlando and eventually head out to sea. Here's a look at Hurricane Milton. Still, it hit as a major Category 3. Should start to have some weakening as the circulation becomes disrupted moving over land. But again, all I can do right now and all we can do is pray and hope for the best for the residents of Florida and everyone else affected by this storm.
Absolutely. Okay, thanks, Howie. Well, an undercover operation reveals low-income discrimination, how it's impacting housing opportunities across the state. That's new at 6.
Also new at 6, Chico High becomes the first high school in the country to see the Navy group strike, the new Navy group strike group. We'll show you how it works.